Hey guys, welcome back to the Texas State Theory Test, Grade 4. In this video, we're going to be going over questions 11 and 12, so let's get to it. Question 11 says, write the numbers below each note and each rest as you would count aloud when tapping the following rhythm. Look at the time signature. Okay, so pretty much we just have to count it out on the paper. So the time signature says that we are in 4/4 time, which means we have 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets 1 beat. So let's do this first. Let's find all the beats in the first measure. Well, here in the beginning we have 4 eighth notes. Now you should know by this point that 2 eighth notes equal 1 beat. So here we have 1 beat, and then here we have another beat, and then here a quarter rest gets 1 beat, and then we have a quarter note that gets 1 beat. So check it out, I have 4 squares. Those are my 4 beats. Now what you're going to write when you have eighth notes is in the first one you're going to put the number. So this is 1, and the second one we have to put something down. We have to put some type of symbol to indicate that there is a note there. So we have 1 and then here at the beginning of the second square we have 2, and then we have to put a little and sign. So 1 and 2 and this would be beat number 3, and this would be beat number 4. There are all 4 beats. Let's move on to the second measure. Alright, now here at the beginning of the second measure we have a half note. Now the half note gets 2 beats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a really big long square, and I'm going to kind of put a dotted line here. Alright, because the half note is going to get 2 beats. And then we have a quarter note here, and this is going to get 1 beat, and then this quarter note is going to get another beat. So 2 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. There's all 4 beats. Now let's put the numbers on like we need to. So 1 and 2, this is where the first square is right here. You see that? And this is where the second square is right here. But what we need to do is we need to show in our writing that this half note holds both of those beats. The half note gets both beats. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little dash in between 1 and 2. So 1 and 2. So that's the half note. And then here's beat number 3, and here's beat number 4. There we go. Alright. Now here I have a dotted half note. A dotted half note gets 3 beats. So I'm going to draw a big old rectangle like I did earlier. And I'm going to kind of divide it unevenly, I might add, into 3 separate beats. So there's 3 beats right there, and then here I have 2 eighth notes. 2 eighth notes being together equal 1 beat. So here I'm going to put a 1 under the first square, 2 under the second square, 3 under the third square, put a dash in between them to show that the dotted half note gets all 3 beats, and then here I'm going to put a 4, and I still have this extra note that I have to do something with. I have to show that it's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little and sign, and put a little tiny plus sign right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Alright. And the last measure. So I have 2 half notes. So I'm going to do this, and then cut it in half. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cut it in half. See that? And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to put a dash here, and a dash here. And then, the way it should look on the test, because we don't want all these boxes on our test, it's going to look like this. We're just going to erase all this right here. And hopefully I don't erase any of the numbers. Alright. So, it should look something like that. Don't put the boxes on your test. Those are just, you do that in your mind, in your imagination. Alright, that's question number 11. I hope that helps. Let's move on to question 12. Alright. Question 12 states, below the arrow in each measure, draw one rest, all the way back in lesson 1, I believe, or the first video of this series. Question number 2, I explained how to draw all the different types of rests and how many beats each one of those rests get. If you need to review that, go back to the first video in this series. Okay, but I need to draw one rest that has been left out of each measure. Do not use dotted rests, so we're not going to have any dotted half rests or dotted quarter rests. Look at the time signature. So let's do the first question. So I am in 4/4 time, so I get 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. That's simple. Now, let's figure out how many beats we have, and once we figure out how many beats we have, then we will figure out how many beats we still need. Alright, so here I have 1 beat. Here I have 2 beats. I'm gonna cut that in half right there. So 1, 2, 3. I need one more beat, so I need a rest. One rest that gets 1 beat, and that should be the quarter rest. Remember, don't touch the top line with the quarter rest, don't touch the bottom line with the quarter rest, and draw a little zigzag, then a half circle, and there you go. And there's my 4th beat. Alright, moving on to the second measure. Okay, so here I have 1 beat. Here I have 2 beats. And here I should have my 3rd beat. The problem is that I only have half a beat here, because remember, it takes 2 eighth notes to make 1 whole beat. So I can't use an eighth note because I have to use a rest, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute the second eighth note that would have gone like this, you know, the eighth note here, and then that right there. I'm going to substitute that, and I'm going to draw an 8th rest instead. So what I'm going to do is do that. Draw an 8th rest, and that completes the measure. So now, if you want to count, I have 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay. Moving on to the 3rd one. Let's figure out how many beats we have. Right here, I have 1 beat. Here, I have another beat. So I have a total of 2 beats. I need 2 more beats, but I need 1 rest that's going to give me 2 beats. So what I'm going to do is I need a half rest. Now remember, the half rest sits on the 3rd line. Half rest sits. So I'm going to draw this right here, make it look like a little hat, fill it in, and voila. There we go. That's 2 beats right there. Alright, here I have nothing. I just need 1 rest that takes up the whole measure. The whole measure. I need a whole rest. And remember, a whole rest looks like a half rest, except that it hangs down from the 4th line. So the whole rest is going to hang down from right here. I don't know this for a fact, but probably on one of these examples that they're going to give you, in question 12, you will have at least 1 measure that's going to have a whole rest. So that is something to look out for. Alright, that was questions 11 and 12. I hope this helps. Keep studying, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next video.